The Wrestle Ramble is proudly partnered with W Energy. W is a fast-growing energy formula designed to give you laser focus without the jitters or crash. Whether you're a gamer, content creator, or just in need of an energy boost, W has you covered. Visit w.gg and use code WrestleRamble to save 10% off your order at checkout. A special thank you again to W Energy for partnering with us here at the Wrestle Ramble.
Dustin drops an elbow on this dead chicken. Yes, you heard that right. Dustin Rhodes dropped an elbow on a chicken.
Hello and welcome to the Wrestle Ramble. I'm your host, Angelus Walker, better known as CyberAngelusX over on YouTube, but you can call me AJ for short. Now, I'm a little late with this one, but let's just run through all the late year holidays real quick. Happy Halloween, Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, all of the holidays, all of the happies to you. It's been a little bit. Our last episode was the 1 year anniversary show, I believe, at the beginning of October, and things have just been getting crazy these last couple of weeks or so, and I started at a new job, and so that's been really fun working at that. Still getting used to the schedule a little bit, but I'm slowly but surely adjusting. I've been there for just about a month and a half now, so getting used to that is still a little bit of a jump, finally being in the field that I want to be in, but having fun with that, getting used to that, like I said. Man, fun week for wrestling too, isn't it? Absolutely fun week. Friday night, I worked as a cameraman for DCW's Chaos Before Christmas, and I went out to UPW last night as a fan, watching Mustafa Ali in that triple threat match with Jackson Drake and Diego Hill. 2 titles were on the line for that one. That one was a really good match. Fun show overall. Definitely going to go back to another UPW show. And I'm looking forward to going back and working as a cameraman for DCW. I was at the Asylum for the first time with this show. So it was a little bit of an adjustment. I was trying to figure out exactly where my positioning would be, trying to figure out what would be the best angles. So with this show, I don't feel like I necessarily did the greatest, but it's a learning experience. First time working that arena. It'll get better as I work shows going forward in the future, and thankfully, as far as I know and as far as it goes right now, I should be a cameraman for DCW for a little bit going forward. So that's going to be a real fun experience. And so thank you to AC Divine and thank you to DCW for allowing me to come out and work the shows as a cameraman. It's been a real great experience, and I absolutely have fun doing it. And it's been the greatest thing. And I'm also looking at going to DCW Proving Ground and maybe starting training there. We'll see what the future holds with that. I'll keep you guys updated, but that's enough about that. I've done the introductories. I've done the happy holidays. I've talked about the wrestling that I've been going to and the wrestling that I've been working. Here is the bread and butter for this show, folks. We're going to get right into this one, and this is going to be a good one. Monday Nitro, March 6th, 2000. Whoo-wee. All right, this is going to be a good one. Grab those cold ones and pop one open because Sundays are for the boys. And with that being said, let's jump into WCW Nitro from March 6th, 2000.
the show starts, and it starts with Finley just grabbing Vampiro by the neck. Like, literally grabbing him as if he owed him money. A brawl breaks out. They're the cast boys, courtesy of the Total Package, by the way. Sporting the handiwork of the Total Package, at least. So, a brawl breaks out, as I said, and these guys just beat each other's asses for a couple of seconds. Security is here, by the way. They're trying to break it up. But to little to no avail. They're trying to keep the two separated, but they're trying to get at each other. So, officially underway. We're live in Chapel Hill. Not too far from me, which is kind of cool to see, honestly. And I wish I would have been able to go to this show, but, you know, your boy was a tad bit young at the time. We have Tony Schiavone and Mark the Mark on commentary for this one. The Mexicools, well, 2/3 of the Mexicools are here to kick us off. Juventud Guerrera and Psychosis. Juventud is on one as per usual. And so he says, finally, the juice is back by popular demand. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here like, you were gone? And that's not even on some disrespectful stuff, okay? There has been so much going on Nitro and Thunder. It's a wee bit difficult to keep up with everybody. So that's my bad. But Juventud, he's kind of funny, honestly. He's one of my favorite parts of these episodes that I have been watching that's involved him. Just his promos and the way that he delivers them, and the blatant, obvious ripoff of The Rock, and just Juvi's execution of it is the funniest thing, and I laugh every single time. But not gonna lie, I completely forgot about him. Completely forgot about him. I'm pretty sure the last time we saw him, he was getting his shit slapped up by Terry Funk anyway. Kaz Hayashi says, fuck all that, and drop kicks both guys from the back. They both go over the top to the outside, and he follows it up with a dive over the top rope, landing on his feet. Juventud, mind you, went all the way into the crowd, and I'm just like, yeah, damn. Kaz Hayashi, I like your style. This man's going 100 miles an hour right out of the gate. This is my guy right here. This is the type of action I like to see kicking off my wrestling shows. We're 13 days away from Uncensored, they say on commentary. There's a shut up fat boy sign in the crowd, so that's nice. Never mind all that, because the brawl between Finley and Vampiro spews out to the arena. These guys are still just whooping each other's asses. They just can't get enough of each other. They just have to get their hands around each other's necks, apparently. Top rope Frankensteiner for 2 by Psychosis. That was pretty sweet. Cruiserweight Princeman and Paisley make their way out to the ring now because reasons. Why are you here? And there's so much going on in this first match alone. We're trying to have the match itself. Mind you, Juventud Guerrera came out already off just insane amounts of drugs, I bet you. This man came out coked out of his mind. He's absolutely a fan favorite here in Chapel Hill, if you could tell. Juventud is out here. The brawl from Vampiro and Finley is coming out now. Prince Iakea and Paisley are making their way out to the ring. Like, it's a lawless land. It's just absolutely lawless. My notes literally say, what the hell is going on? Mark says that Prince has added credibility into the cruiserweight division, and I'm just... Has he? Has he really? Is that what he's done? Okay. Juventud stands in front of Prince like that one Kevin Hart staring meme. Like, it was the funniest thing. That man did not have a clue in his head. That was the funniest shit. Drop kick out of midair, though, from Psychosis. That was really cool. Like, that couldn't have been executed any more perfect. Any more perfect? Is that the correct way to say that? I don't know. It was fantastic. He got him. Referee gets distracted by Juventud and Paisley. Prince gets on the apron. Wait. Hold on a second. Oh, no, that was on Thunder. Okay. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. The referee gets distracted by Juventud and Paisley. Prince gets on the apron on the other side. He attacks Psychosis with the Cruiserweight Championship, and then Kaz Hayashi rolls him up and he gets the 3 count. Juventud is clearly upset. He shoves the referee, and the referee is having none of that. He shoves Juventud back. Psychosis attacks Prince Iakea. Prince is confused on who he wants to be attacked by. He gets a missile dropkick for his troubles, though, by Psychosis. And then we get a recap of Vampiro versus Jeff Jarrett from last Monday Night on Nitro. So what an introduction. What a first match. Man, Nitro is great. Man, Nitro is fantastic. This is my show right here. From there, we run down the card of what we can expect. Jeff Jarrett and the Harris Boys will go up against Sid Vicious and Vampiro. Ric Flair will go up against Kurt Hennig. Finley and Vampiro are still being aggressive backstage, by the way. I want you guys to know, while all this has been going on, this brawl is still ongoing. The lame WO is backstage, just having a chit-chat. Mean Gene interviews the Italian mob, or excuse me, the Paisans, or is it the Mamalukes? I'm confused. They have a lot of names. Either way, Mean Gene is here to interview him. I don't know what kind of hat Disco Inferno is wearing. Okay, let me try to describe this. Okay, because it's very interesting looking. It's an orange zebra print hat, like a cowboy type hat, and it is a fashion atrocity. I want to point that out. No more cheese sandwiches for Johnny, by the way, because he's taken everything with these championship matches, especially with the Harris Boys and their upcoming match at Uncensored, very seriously. So no more cheese sandwiches for Johnny, and he wants you to know that he gets very upset whenever he doesn't have his cheese sandwiches. Big Ron is going to get his ass kicked by Big Vito. That's words of Big Vito. From here, we take a break and go to commercial. Coming back from commercial break now. Activities at Duke? I want to go to activities at Duke. Ricky, my man Ricky is here. Ricky is here, and he's here to tell us about all the Nitro parties that's been going on over at Duke. And I want to go to a Nitro party. I want to see WCW at Duke. That looks fun as hell. Where's my invite? Never mind my invitation to activities at Duke because they're selfish. Team Package has arrived to the building. Boneheads 1 and 2, Harris Boys 1 and 2 are here. And we get a highlight reel of Preparation H-Bombs from Nitro last week. The Italian Mob from here come out, and Disco's hat upsets me. Disco's hat really, really upsets me, and I don't think I can express that enough. It just grinds my gears, if I really must say so. Actually, you know what? His whole outfit upsets me. Like, literally, just the whole outfit. Everything he is currently wearing upsets me. Big Ron versus Big Vito. Battle of the Bigs. Pause. Vito hits his finisher after, like, a minute in the match. They do twin magic, referring to the Harris boys, of course. Vito gets a hit in the face with a chain, and the Harris boys win. You literally could not have went to take a piss and come back and still have this match going on. It was that short. But get this. There's more. We have an instant replay. Why was this a thing? Sometimes. Only sometimes. Specifically, I remember them doing an instant replay of Unforgiven 1999. I believe it was Val Venus versus Steve Blackman. And Steve Blackman attacked Val Venus with a kendo stick. After the match, they did an instant replay. And a few other occasions that I kind of can recall. Kind of, but not really. Why was this a thing? Literally just like less than 25% of the time. And it was the weirdest instances of when they would use it. And this is another one. But sure, yeah, the Harris boys do twin magic. We get an instant replay after the match is over, and the referee reverses his decision and awards the match to Big Vito. Well, the Harris boys didn't like that decision, and so they attack the Italian mob. They handcuff Vito to the rope. Preparation H-bomb for Johnny. Meanwhile, Disco Fever gets in, and he tries to hand the boys the tag team belts, and they just look at him like, bitch. Preparation H-bomb for Disco Fever, Disco Fever, Disco Fever, yeah. Some schmucks come out, and they get a Preparation H-bomb for their troubles, too. Harris dickhead number 2 shoves a cop who's on the apron, and the cop is like, oh nah. He immediately draws his nightstick, slides into the ring, and then the Harris boys clear house because the cop is having none of it, okay? He slid in, he was like, alright, I'm ready to kick some ass and take some names. He was ready to get in there and whoop some Harris boys' ass. Next up, we get a highlight of the chokeslam that the Wall delivered to Crowbar from Thunder. And man, that was a sweet ass spot. That chokeslam was gnarly. Oh my God. We're going to get to it, and it's actually coming up here in a little bit. I think it might be the next segment on the show, actually. Oh my God. Chokeslam, baby. Okay, we're getting there. Mean Gene interviews Daphne and David, who's apparently 21 today, so happy birthday. From there, we go to a commercial break. That interview wasn't really anything. It's just pretty much David just, I'm going to get a little bit of payback tonight. Accurately summed up, by the way. That's literally what he said. In a nutshell, pretty much. Coming back from commercial break now, the Harris boys are in handcuffs, and Jeff Jarrett is upset about it. Well, you know, that's what happens whenever you shove cops, sir. Well, I can think of a couple of instances over in the Fed whenever Stone Cold did a little bit more than just a little shove. But for storyline purposes, you know, you don't shove cops, sir. So that's what happens, and you're just gonna be carted off to jail now. Like someone else I know. Anyway, we're shown a Sid versus Jeff Jarrett uncensored graphics. From there, we head out to the ring, and David makes his way out with Daphne. We're shown a highlight from Thunder again, and it's the choke slam that took out Crowbar. Whew. Fantastic choke slam. Next up, the whole wall is making his way out to the ring. Jeff Jarrett doesn't have a partner for the main event now, so he's kind of at a little bit of a fork in the road, it seems. Wall is immediately running David's pockets as soon as he gets into the ring. He tosses his ass over the rope. The Wall proceeds to grab 2 tables. Mind you, this match is 30 to 45 seconds old. Maybe a minute. Maybe more like a minute, but within that realm, you know what I'm saying? This match hasn't been underway for very long, okay? So Wall grabs 2 tables. Match is at this point like 2 minutes old. He stacks them, SmackDown versus Raw style. Like, oh my God, this was so fun to watch. He stacks them. Daphne do be screaming. Her screaming actually distracts the Wall just for a second, and so she's bringing him around to the other side of the ring. David now is coming around behind the Wall, and he nails him with a crowbar. He goes up onto the ropes, showboats for the crowd. Well, that showboating for the crowd is going to cost him because the Wall is now back up to his feet. Wall goozles his ass. Choke slam through 2 tables. Yeah! This was awesome. Choke slam. David sells like, oh my God, it was fantastic. He sells the neck. Like, David got fucked, man. It was a fantastic choke slam on every replay that they showed, every camera angle they got. And honestly, I need to start looking at the camera shots that they use. And I've actually been doing that with a few companies that I've been watching. Like, I've been doing that with WWE because that's one of the main ones that I've been watching. And just rewatching some of the footage that I've shot before, trying to find what the best positions would be for whenever I'm recording and whenever I'm doing camera work. This was fantastic. Every shot was epic. The choke slam, the sell, fantastic. Oh my gosh, yes. Doctor rushes out to the ring, signals for medical help to come out. Kurt Hennig comes out to check on David. Terry Funk also comes down to check on him. Arn Anderson also makes his way out. Kurt Hennig is wondering why Ric Flair hasn't come out to check on him. And medical staff comes down. They bring a stretcher. David gets a neck brace. It's crazy. Like, coming back from commercial break now, we get a replay of the choke slam, which, the Wall has been on a roll with these choke slams, man. These have been good watching right here. Real good watching. Meanwhile, David's taken out on a stretcher. Next up, we see the Wall and Bam Bam Bigelow having a moment backstage in the stairwell. And Bam Bam says, "You don't go out there and make a name for yourself like that. You don't get over by breaking people in half." Isn't that what you did, though? That's definitely what you did in ECW. Yeah, I'm just saying, brother man, I'm just saying. Anyway, the Wall says, "Shut up, bitch." And then he decks his ass. This is after Bam Bam said, "That's not what I taught you." And from there, we head out, and 3 count is, they're doing their thing. They're trying to dance. I think they're trying to dance. I really think they're trying to dance, but they're taking just a little bit too long, according to Fit Finley, Brian Knobbs, and, excuse me, let me get this right, the dog. Whomst? They put a sack over his head, by the way. And then whenever they're making their way out to the ring and they're standing right in front of the ring, they take the sack off, and he do be foaming. You know, he's dog. He's he's rabid. What's going on here? What's going on? What an interesting character. I must say so myself. What an interesting character indeed. He charges the ring. They let him off the leash. So he charges the 3 count. Yes, he actually does. He charges the 3 count and he makes them his bitches. That is literally what happens. Evan eventually grabs the legs and double drop kick from Evan and Shane. They take him down for just a second, and meanwhile on the outside, Brian Knobbs and Fit Finlay are just, hanging out. They eventually get in, though, and Brian Knobbs rubs Evan Courageous' face in in Fit Finlay's armpit, so that's nice. You love having your face just rubbed right into Fit Finlay's armpit, as one does, of course. Knobbs will get a rematch in a hardcore. If I sound congested, I am so sorry. My sinuses have not liked the fluctuation in the weather lately, so sorry about that. Knobbs will get his rematch in a hardcore gauntlet match at Uncensored, and he will be going up against all 3 members of 3 Count for the hardcore belt. Evan tries to go up onto the ropes, and Brian causes him to lose his balance. He grabs Evan. The dog gets onto the middle rope. Brian hands Evan to the dog, as in, puts him on his shoulder and hands him to the dog, who is sitting on the middle rope. Power slam off of the middle rope, and that's enough for the 3 count. And then the dog just proceeds to nibble on his face and his ear, just Arr. I have something in my eye and it is bothering me. Sack on the face for you. They just put the sack back on his head. Literally, it's sack on the face for you. You are done. We have had enough of you. Next up, Mean Gene interviews Team Package, and Lex says that Sting is afraid of him, and Rick says that David can take care of himself, so he's alright. He's no bitch. He'll be okay. Just put some dirt on it. You're from the Carolinas. Anyway, he's ready to go. Next up, we see Jeff Jarrett and women. From there, we go to commercial. Coming back now, we are greeted by the Nitro Girls, and they are very 2000. Here are Sid and Mexican-Canadian Sting getting fired up. If you don't know who I'm talking about, I mean Vampiro. Hit my fucking music. Then we see Jeff Jarrett and women. Once again. Bring them out just to send them back. That's Jeff Jarrett's style, folks. Jeff Jarrett cuts a promo and he says that his new tag team partner is in fact the Wall. NWO Chosen One. What an intro, man. I cannot believe that this is in fact the NWO. And I can't believe that Jeff Jarrett said that he is the man to bring the NWO into the new millennium. Because, sir, that is the fattest sack of horse shit I ever did here. Anyway, Lane and Idol have the brilliant idea to mess with the Demon's casket. They literally try to take a fucking blowtorch to it and just try to weld it shut. Or whatever the fuck. Why? Why did you think this was a good idea? They legitimately look like if Beavis and Butthead were wrestlers. And I made that comparison, and I cannot unsee it now, because they literally just look like if they were wrestlers. And I have done it to myself, and I absolutely hate it, because it is low-key true. Anyway, they try to mess with the Demon's Casket, and it's not gonna end well for you. Next up, Kurt and Ric Flair are making their way out to the ring. We are treated to a commercial break from there because, gotta pay those bills. Coming back from that commercial break now, Rick, is making his way out to the ring. And we're showing a couple of highlights from Nitro and Thunder, which, we gotta have our highlights. These highlights make the show. They honestly do. Then Curt Hennig makes his way out to the ring. Ric Flair gets on the mic, though, and he cuts a promo, and he says he's the most famous person alive. And he says that we really should be wrestling in Duke and not Chapel Hill. And I agree. I agree, Rick. We really should. We really should. And we also find out that David Flair has gone to a local medical facility. But Ric Flair, he couldn't be bothered to give a damn. He's too busy riding high and wanting to ride in limousines with Team Package. And Tony questions why that Kurt was the first out whenever David was chokeslammed. And, that's a really good question. And maybe we're going to revisit this. Who knows? We're going to see. Tony questions why Kurt was the first out whenever David was chokeslammed. And that's a pretty good question. Maybe we'll revisit that. Who knows? We'll see. But we find out that WCW executive boards, or the WCW executive board, has made a decision about the total package Sting match stipulation for Uncensored. And meanwhile, with this match that's going on, Curt Hennig is trying to go chop for chop with Ric Flair, and he's actually getting the better of him. Ric Flair is actually on the apron now and suplex back in from Kurt to Rick. Low blow from Flair in the corner, which we all know that's a bread and butter favorite of the Nature Boy. Flair goes for the knee, and he goes to target that for a little bit in this match. Double axe handle from Flair to Kurt from the apron to the outside. Commentary pretty much says that Ric Flair sucks as a dad. They literally say that pretty much. They're like, yeah, this guy here, he fucking sucks. Yeah, he's not a good dad at all. Damn, boys. Is that how you really feel? Back in now, Rick locks in the figure four, if I can actually say that correctly, excuse me. Kurt gets out by reversing, though. Backslide attempt from Curt Hennig gets a 2 count. Ric Flair tries to go up to the top rope and gets tossed off. As Ric Flair does. Package runs in and gets knocked off because we can't have a normal one-on-one match in WCW. And if you thought you were going to get one, we're laughing at you. Irish Whip sends Kurt into the ropes. He stops. He grabs Rick, and then he hits the Henningplex, and it's enough for the 3 count. But Total Package immediately is on the attack with the baseball bat. Flair tosses Charles Robinson out of the way. Get out of here, String Bean. Flair whips Hennig with Hulk Hogan's weight belt. Total Package hits Curt Hennig in the shoulder with the bat. Holy shit. That was a gnarly shot, man. That was, oof. I know that had to hurt like a bitch. Meanwhile, Arn Anderson comes out to do nothing. Literally nothing. Total Package sets up the chair and stomps on the arm, and Arn Anderson just stands there. Like, he literally just stands there and he puts his hands on his head. Sir, you could have stopped him. What? Package then proceeds to try and make his way out to the ring, and he turns around and he faces Arn Anderson as if he was going to take a shot at him, but Ric Flair nods no. And this is like, I'm sitting here like, Arn, you literally could have prevented this. You could have prevented Kurt Hennig from kayfabe getting his arm broken, and you just stood there like a deer in the damn headlights and didn't do a damn thing. Sir, individual. Meanwhile, backstage, Lane and Idol literally take a blowtorch to the Demon's casket. What a sentence. This wrestling show is crazy. They take a blowtorch to the Demon's casket, and he's standing behind them. He attacks them, but only for a second because the numbers game catches up to him. They pretty much take his lunch money, and they say, all right, we're going to go hit the town now. And then we head to a commercial break. Coming back now, my man Ricky Ratman is back partying North Carolina style. You already know, if you know what I mean and you know what I'm saying. Kurt's arm is broken, according to the EMTs. He's in the ambulance, and so he's going to go receive some medical attention. Flair, Total Package, and Liz are in high spirits, and they're on top of the world, and they're gonna get even higher than what they already are. Okay. Lane and Idol. Whew. Alright, so next up, Lane and Idol make their way out to the ring. Beavis and Butthead, the boys, they look like the biggest dweebs I have ever seen. Norman Smiley makes his way out to the ring, and I had to put this in all caps because I could not tell these two apart. Idol is blonde, so Idol is Beavis, so I just have to remember that. So, Screamin' Norman Smiley is going to go up against Butthead, so he's going up against Lane. Norman is in UNC gear, so fuck you. You suck. You bitch. Idol says they want to go out. Idol says they just want to get out of here and go chase some rats, referring to women. A dancing punch from Lane lands on Screamin' Norman Smiley. They go over the top, almost missing Norman. I don't even know what the fuck I was trying to say there. Anyway, this match can be summed up as loose moral women and big wiggles. Norman, all he wants to do is wiggle all over North Kakalaki, and Lane and Idol just want to go chase some rats. So this match literally is summed up as loose moral women and big wiggles. Big slam and a wiggle from Norman. I can't even get big slam and a wiggle from Norman. This offends Mark. Low blow from Lane in front of the referee, who is legally blind. I'm offended by the Tar Heel wiggle. I want to make a note of that, by the way. Lane tries to spring up on the ropes for a moonsault, but he fucking face plants. He actually goes over with the moonsault. He just lands on his fucking head. Literally. Big swing from Screamin' Norman. Miss Hancock is here now just because, she's here because legs. Idol, excuse me. I see what I mean? I can't tell them apart. Idol gets on the apron. Norman is fucking, big wiggling Lane? That my notes say that felt wrong to type out. Anyway, now pay attention to Miss Hancock because she's on the table. Lane gets sent into Idol. Norman locks in the cross-faced chicken wing. They have some name for this on commentary, although I don't remember what it was. It's irrelevant because he's wearing UNC gear, so Norman locks in the cross-faced chicken wing and the ref calls for the bell. Norman wins via that's not correct, via submission. But he doesn't get to celebrate for too long, though, because he gets stomped out by the boys. The Demon comes out, and he tries to even the odds, and they fend off standards and practices, Lane and Idol. Gene is here to interview Sid Vicious, and Sid is here to yell about numbers and final judgment days for Jeff Jarrett. Tank arrives quite angrily, and he calls a security guard a dumbass, Red Foreman style. Top tier. From there, we head to a commercial break. We're getting through. Coming back from commercial break now. Tank Abbott is in the ring, and he's here to hold the show hostage because that's what we do. The crowd is chanting Goldberg. Because you can't be a bald man and have any kind of facial hair and not expect to hear a Goldberg chant. Anyways, Tank says that Sid got lucky, and he is the luckiest SOB walking the face of this planet. And he can't hold a candle to Tank's jockstrap. He says the only reason that he tapped is because they wanted to take him off of TV. What? That doesn't make sense, sir. But okay, whatever you say. He says he's not leaving the ring, and it doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter what anybody does. There's nobody in the locker room that can force him. He is going to stay right in the ring, and he is not leaving. So La Parka comes out, and Tank makes short work of him, by the way. La Parka tries to use the steel chair. Tank pushes it back into his face, and then La Parka eats a right, and that's all she wrote. That's literally that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. Just knocks his shit clean out. So Tank then asks for more yahoos to come down to the ring. That was just funny to type out. Ming makes his way out to the ring, but he gets stopped by security, and he's actually told that he will be fined if he gets into the ring and goes face to face and goes on this brawl with Tank Abbott. So that went nowhere. Coming back from commercial break now, Nitro Girls. Anyway, never mind them and their shitty dancing. Because here's Hulk Hogan. And he's talking about Ric Flair and the Strap Master Jimmy Hart. Oh, what a character Hulk Hogan 2000 is, man. Like, this is... I really don't know how to describe seeing Hulk Hogan in 2000 because it really feels like before each and every promo that he did, he just snorted the fattest line of cocaine and said, "All right, brother, let's get her done." Next up, Kidman, don't call him Billy, in pants with Tori make their way out to the ring. And we're shown a couple of highlights. We're shown the highlight of Billy Kidman accidentally drop kicking Booker T in the face on Thunder. Next up, we get Stevie Ray and Biggs coming out. And Stevie signals for the rest of Harlem Heat 2000 to come down. And so, what's that guy's name? Not Ahmed Johnson. Not Mr. T. Is it just Big T? I think it is just Big T. So Big T, don't call him Ahmed Johnson. And Cassius, don't call him Ono, make their way out to the ring. And Kidman gets on the mic and he says, "You know, I'm not stupid. Let me introduce you to my partner," says Kidman. And Stevie says, "Shut up, bitch." And then he rocks his shit, and they just start stomping him out. Booker T then makes his way out to the ring. He hits a sidekick on Stevie before getting attacked by Big T. Axe kick, though, by Booker into a spinneroonie. And, oh man, Booker was just so clean. So flippin' clean. I swear to Bob. Commentary says, "I guess this is a tag team match now, so I fucking guess it. I guess it is. We live in anarchy in WCW, so yes, this is now a tag team match." Mark is on his shit about growing up with Biggs and Harlem Heat, you know, as per usual. Mark Madden is always on some shit. Like, in one shape, form, or fashion, Mark Madden is always on some shit. Clothesline duck under from Kidman. Big T runs into Booker, who catches him into a bookend. Elbow from Kidman off the top rope. Cassius pulls the ref out, and Booker slingshots with a crossbody out, taking Cassius down. Meanwhile, back in the ring, Kidman gets bitch slapped by Stevie with a slapjack. Big T then puts his arm over, and it's enough for the 3 count. Harlem Heat 2000 are your winners. But they're not done yet. They're not done by a long shot because they still got some aggressions to take out. And they take them out on Booker. Now, after we're done seeing Booker T getting his lunch money taken in the ring, we head into the backstage area and we see Jeff Jarrett and the wall. But we're not only treated to Jeff Jarrett and the wall, we are also treated to the Dustin Taker. And Dustin Taker is making his way out to the ring, and he is in full getup, people. Like hat and all. This man is just Dustin Takered out of his mind. Coming back from commercial break now. Spring Break 2000, bitch! They want to get it across. We are on our way to Spring Break 2000. Be here. Be with our company. Spring Break 2000. Join us. Ricky. My man is back and he's here to interview Shane Helms and a couple of others. But Shane Helms, he's the main one I want to talk about here. He is the main one I want to talk about because he has a line. He says, well, actually, let me back up for a second. Let me backpedal. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. Ricky says there are ladies that are banging on the bus doors. There are ladies that's in the hotels. You know, so how are you guys handling all of this? How are you handling this popularity? Shane then proceeds to say, you know, if you're not down with the 3, then you don't count. Get off of my TV forever. What a time 2000 was. They have a couple of shots here, you know, some fools juking and jiving, you know, they're dancing, they're getting their groove on. I would have loved to just experience it, but whew. Crazy times, man. Coming up at the pay-per-view, though, we have Dustin versus Terry Funk, and we're showing a graphic for that. That's going to be a hardcore match, I believe, so I'm real interested to watch that one. Take some notes for that, see how that goes. And I expect there to be some blood. I expect there to be a crimson mask. I expect to see some barbed wire. I expect to see some chairs. I expect to see some tables. You know that hardcore match that Funk had with Ric Flair at Super Brawl? Yeah, let's run that back, but let's up it just a little bit. You gotta do just a wee bit better, Dustin. You're the Dustin taker, man. Come on. Make Terry Funk your bitch. We're gonna get to, oh my god, we're gonna get to what happens with that. Oh my gosh. The utmost disrespect was held in that fucking situation. Like, oh my god. We're coming up on it, but Dustin comes out and he cuts a promo. He says Funk is a stupid old fart, and he says to some fat boy in the crowd he isn't worth the sweat off of his ass. So between Dustin and Ric Flair, we're just targeting the fat boys in the crowd. They just never stood a chance. So Funk comes out and he says, "Hey, Mr. Chicken, I sees a chicken in the ring," says Funk. Funk says, "You know what I have here in this garbage bag?" He comes out with a garbage bag. I failed to mention. I'm so sorry. Funk comes out with a garbage bag, and he said, "You know what I have in this here garbage bag? What I have here is your illegitimate baby brother." And he pulls out a skinned chicken in a diaper. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, are you referring to one Cody Raheem Rhodes, current undisputed champion? Cody Raheem Rhodes, one of my favorite Negroes. We'll follow him until the end. Wakanda's leader. I should probably cut that. Terry Funk throws this chicken at Dustin, and it smacks him square in the fucking face. Like the utmost of disrespect. Not only did he come out and say, I sees a chicken in the ring. He called you a chicken. He said, hey, I have your illegitimate, undisputed WWE baby brother champion, Cody Raheem Rhodes, in this garbage bag. And he pulls the chicken out in a diaper and throws it squarely at his head. And it smacks him squarely in the head. The utmost disrespect. Hilarious to see. Like, I would be so heated. Like, he legitimately just throws a whole fucking chicken at this man's head. And he says, he actually then continues, he says, let's have a barbed wire match tonight. Absolutely insane. Meanwhile, powder to the face from Dustin. He has some powder, so I guess this was a trap from Dustin. He throws the powder into his face, DDT, and then nails him with a pile driver. Funk has still got a lot of fight in him, though, and so low blow from Terry Funk. Body slams Dustin onto barbed wire. I forgot to mention that Dustin came out with the barbed wire. I don't know if I mentioned that. Dustin then runs away, wrapped in barbed wire. Holy crap, man. What a show. But it's time. It is main event time here on Nitro. And, whew, my God, what a show. Jeff Jarrett comes out. The women actually make it out to the ring this time. Surprise, surprise, I know, it's crazy. They make it out to the ring, only to be sent right back after Jeff Jarrett asked if the crowd wanted to keep him out here. So, of course, Jeff Jarrett. What am I saying? Jeff Jarrett is on his typical bad guy shit. He's running through, playing right to the crowd, doing his heel shit. Speaking of heel shit, I actually do have to watch Heels. I think it's on Netflix right now. I have to watch that. Wrestlers, that's also on Netflix. I've been meaning to watch that for a little bit. I've watched a couple episodes of that, actually, and the couple episodes that I have watched, I've been really interested by, especially talking about OVW. Who knows, you know? I wouldn't mind going to... Actually, no, I don't want to go to Ohio. Sorry. I've seen some shows. I've heard some stories. I've seen the clips with the constant gunshots. Nah, I'm good. I'm good, Chief. Unless I absolutely 100% have to be there, and it's got to be for a big company or something. No, I'm good. I'm good. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. Y'all are a different breed out there. Y'all have got that 100%. Next up, the Wall makes his way out to the ring, and we're shown a highlight of the choke slam from Thunder. Sweet as always. I'll take any highlight of that I can. That was pretty cool. We're also shown a choke slam of David from earlier tonight. That was sick as well. Next up, Vampiro makes his way out to the ring, followed by the world champ. Sid Vicious and Vampiro, they take it right to Wall and Jeff Jarrett. So a brawl breaks out just for a second, you know. Order is restored eventually, but it takes just a couple seconds. These boys, there's a lot of testosterone that's rummaging around in this ring, you know. The boys are quite angry with one another, if I do say so myself. Reversal on the whip. Jeff Jarrett on the apron buries his knee into the back of Vampiro. Clothesline from the Wall. Vampiro now slams Jeff Jarrett with a Uranagi. Sid gets the hot tag and he makes his way into the ring. Leg drop and a choke slam to Jeff Jarrett and takes him down. All four are now in the ring, and Vampiro takes a big shot from the Wall. They go flying over the ropes, and Vampiro actually nails the guardrail. Meanwhile, Sid Vicious is delivering punches in the corner to Jeff Jarrett. Clothesline takes over Jeff Jarrett. Sid and Wall goozle one another looking for choke slams. Sid gets the advantage. The referee, though, ends up taking a bump and he's stunned for just a second. Jarrett gets in and clobbers Sid from behind with a guitar. Choke slam from the Wall takes down Sid Vicious, and then Jeff Jarrett, of course, wants the pinfall for himself, covers the world champion, and gets the 3 count. Wall then goes to goozle Vampiro and choke slams him on the apron, sending him down to the floor. Jeff Jarrett then goes and grabs both the U.S. heavyweight belt and the world heavyweight belt and poses with both championships on the ropes as we send the show off. And that is a wrap for Nitro. Woo! My word, folks. Oh my goodness, got to take the headset off for a second. Give myself some scratches. What a show Nitro was. If you hear that little jingle in the background, that's just my cat Salem that's made his way back into my office. Man, oh man, what a show Nitro was. Overall, kept the action rolling, had a lot of interesting segments. The Harris boys getting arrested was crazy. The tag team matches were fantastic. I'm not surprised that there's no women's action that's going on. That plays into Medusa's frustration that we saw a couple of episodes ago on Nitro. Man, the main event, crazy. The replacement, the Wall stepping in and being a tag team partner for Jeff Jarrett after choke slamming the shit out of David Flair and sending his ass to the hospital earlier in the night. The choke slam, the crowbar from Thunder the previous week was crazy. The Wall is just on a rampage. Jeff Jarrett glomming Sid Vicious from behind with the guitar, pinning Sid once again, posing at the end with both belts. Man, absolutely crazy. And don't forget the way the show started with all hell breaking loose. With Finley and Vampiro going after one another. Vampiro's just not having a good night. He's just not. He's just continuing to get beaten up by people. Oh my gosh. Man, this has already gone for a little bit. I do want to apologize. I did not get an episode out last November. It got busy. It got hectic. Things got away from me. I know it was a little bit in between the anniversary episode and this episode. And you know what? You know what? You know what? To make up for that, we're going to double up. We're going to double up. We're going to double up right now. I'm going to put the headset back on. We're going to keep the ball rolling. We're going to keep the ball rolling because we finished up with Nitro. We're going to go right into the next episode. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to roll right into our next episode, and we're going to talk about Thunder from March 8th, 2000. But before I can get to that, I want to take a second to remind you that this episode of the Wrestle Ramble podcast is powered by W Energy. If you visit If you visit w.gg and use code WrestleRamble, you will save 10% off your order at checkout. That directly goes into helping the podcast, and I would greatly appreciate you so much. That's w.gg and use code WrestleRamble. Everything goes back to helping the podcast. Everything goes to helping out Dubby. We would greatly appreciate you, and a special thank you and a special shout out to Dubby for partnering and sponsoring us here at the Wrestle Ramble. Now, with that being said, let's jump into WCW Thunder from March 8th, 2000. Now, we kicked this show off, and no Nitro recap. Holy shit on an altar. It just starts. We get the kick-ass intro. We get the zoom out with the pyro and the pew, 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 pew. Love the set. Love the intro. We're rolling right into the show. Man, I was shook. To be honest. We didn't get a Nitro recap. The end is night. The end is night. Time to run away. The end is night. The pyro kicks off, but not only is the pyro kicking us off, the Cruiserweight Championship is kicking us off too. We're live in Winston-Salem, which, oh man, I love Winston-Salem. I love going to Winston-Salem and just driving around and visiting and going to Old Salem. Eventually, I would love to live in Winston-Salem at some point. Who knows when that's going to happen? But man, I would love to either work a show or wrestle like as an active combatant. You know, I would love to do something in Winston-Salem. But we are live here, and Cruiserweight Prince Man and Paisley make their way out to the ring with new music? Question mark. It's just as bad as the one he had before. So, yeah, this one sucks too. Mike Tenay and Bobby the Brain Heenan are on commentary for Thunder. And we're showing a couple of highlights from Nitro of Prince Iaukea interfering in Psychosis and Kaz Hayashi's match, which that did not end well for Prince Iaukea. If you don't recall earlier in the recording, What are you doing, Salem? If you don't recall earlier in the broadcast, I mentioned that Prince Iaukea was just absolutely confused by who he wanted to be attacked by on Nitro. The championship looks weird, and I don't know why. It looks off, and I don't like the way it looks. No bueno. Next up, Psychosis and Juventud Guerrera make their way out to the ring, and of course, Juventud says, "Finally." No, well, he doesn't say it exactly like that. You know, I had to add a little bit of extra stank on it, but something to that effect. He says, "Finally, the juice is back." Because everybody was waiting and anticipating the return of the juice. He is the juicy one after all. He do, in fact, be juicing. Juvi and Psychosis make their way into the ring. Juvi is saying pretty much he's trying to be the announcer, I guess, and Mike Tenay is having none of it. He's like, well, turns out, in fact, you're not, because we have different plans. And then Rey Mysterio makes his way out to the ring. Maskless Rey Mysterio in overalls and Tim's coming out is crazy. Not only does Rey Mysterio make his way out to the ring, when he makes his way over to the area wherever Paisley is standing, he bites at her and does the motion I'll slap that ass. Literally he was and then I'll slap that ass. And I'm just hey yo. He tried to shake Bobby Heenan's hand, and Bobby was having none of that. Mike will shake his hand, though, and he says, hey, come on, we got a spot right here for you. Join us on the broadcast table. So Ray gets on top of the table and then raises the roof. Ray in 2000 was wild. I think this right here is what Dirty Dom aspires to be. Maskless Rey Mysterio. Juventud then throws a microphone, but Rey Mysterio actually catches it, and then he blows a kiss. That was kind of smooth, not gonna lie. So this match is 100 miles an hour from the start. Prince is on the outside. Psychosis flies over the top turnbuckle. Just fantastic from Psychosis. Juvi gives a few shots on Prince. Just getting a couple shots, and the Juice has got to get a couple shots in himself. Drop kick from the top drops Prince Iaukea. Psychosis has him in an abdominal stretch. I can't speak, excuse me. Abdominal stretch. I'm so sorry. My sinuses are really bothering me. Like I said, if I sound congested, I'm so sorry. Prince pulls the ref. Okay, I lost where I was. Prince pulls the ref headfirst into Psychosis, and ref takes a bump because we just don't like referees in WCW. If we're being honest, we can't stand them. They're stupid. They don't really do their job, and you know what? Any chance we get to beat them up, we take it. And that's just the way it is, and that's the way it be. Psychosis rolls up Prince, and Hoovy rolls in to count the 3. Everybody's like, that's not how that works, sir. Hoovy gets the belt, and Psychosis celebrates, but the referee says, nah, Chief, that's not how we do that around here. And Prince retains via disqualification. This Thunder is brought to you by Castro GTX Drive Hard. The main event tonight is Jeff Jarrett versus Vampiro for the United States Heavyweight Championship. We're going to see the Italian Mob in an 8-man 4 corners match versus the Harris Boys, Harlem Heat 2000, and Billy Don't Call Him Kidman, and Booker Don't Call Him T. Bam Bam with Crowbar, David, and Daphne. We are going to see them later on tonight. And Total Package says that Arn Anderson pretty much was on some bullshit, but Rick says that he can convince him to come to Team Package, so we're going to see how that's going to play out. Next up, the weirdo demon dude is here, and he has some trouble coming out of his casket, and that's courtesy of Lane and Idol, or standards and practices, if you will, in some circles. We're shown some highlights from Nitro that show Lane and Idol being up to some shenanigans. The Demon saved Norman on Nitro, and then we get a little bit of tongue action from the Demon, who's just getting all up in there, just tongue action. Next up, Lane and Idol come out, and oh my gosh, these dudes are just the biggest doofuses, coming out doing their crotch chops in the air, like DX style, but above their head, and it sucks, and I hate it, and it's stupid, and God, they just look like if Beavis and Butthead became wrestlers. Their music sucks. They look like 2000 schmucks, and they walk down to the ring talking about, oh, is this one rap material? Nah, this one's not rap material. Just shut the fuck up, bro. Y'all are lame. Lane's gonna be on commentary. Thank God. Woohoo. Miss Hancock is also gonna come down to the ring because, and Lane is gonna prevent her from dancing because, nobody gets to see the goodies. Lane, meanwhile, Idol. See what I mean? I don't know the difference. They're just two Joe Schmoes. They both suck ass. Your gimmick sucks. Idol spikes the fucking Demon with the DDT. Miss Hancock gets on the apron to summon Idol, and she lays a big fat kiss on him. Whatever you have to say to get that done to you, sure. Sleeper slam from the Demon, and it's enough to keep Idol down for the 3 count. But Lane immediately hits the ring. Lane hits the Demon with a skull-crushing finale, and they say it's from Memory Lane or some shit, or Memories from Lane, or I don't know. It sucked ass. But it was a skull-crushing finale is what it was. That's what I'm getting at. DDT again from Idol. And then here comes the screaming one. Norman Smiley hits the ring, and he takes out Lane, but it's only for a second because he starts to wiggle. And, well, nobody here really wants to see the wiggle, and that's what I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Why doesn't anybody want to see the wiggle, you might ask? Is it because you came out in UNC here? That's why nobody wants to see the damn wiggle. So Norman hits the ring, takes out Lane, starts to wiggle, takes out Idol, starts to big wiggle, but Lane says, fuck all that. They hit a sucky-ass poetry in motion, and then they chop and stomp out Norman Smiley, and fuck you too, Demon. They do drugs or some shit in the ring. They literally just pop something into their mouth, like a vial of liquid or some shit. And then they start to dance horribly. Not good at all. And I mean that. Please understand that I mean this. Now we see Kurt hitting backstage, and he's not medically clear tonight, but he's going to be searching for the total package on Monday come Nitro. Bam Bam Bigelow is walking out to the ring next, and we head to commercial from there. Coming back now, the Harris boys, fresh out on bail, they hear the hoochie screaming. They hear Jeff Jarrett. They're hearing Jeff Jarrett backstage, and they're talking about bringing gold back to the NWO. Hey, look, the Harris boys were on their Dominic shit, man. They're fresh out on bail, you know what I mean? Bam Bam Bigelow makes his way out to the ring, and we're shown a highlight of Nitro of the Wall just absolutely making David Flair his bitch. Choke slam down through 2 tables. Golly. Fantastic choke slam. We're shown the Wall taking a shot at Bam Bam after Bam Bam says, "What did I teach you?" And Bam Bam pretty much was getting at, that's not the way that you get over. That's not the way we do business. You don't do things like that. You don't get over by destroying people, pretty much. Bam Bam, you made a career off of destroying people. Silence, my good sir. Now, Bam Bam says he doesn't usually spill his guts on the mic, but there's something that's been bothering him the last couple of weeks. From there, he brings out David, Crowbar, and Daphne, and my God, their music is awful. Crowbar looks like a Temu Undertaker, and I can't stress that enough. Bammer says that it's his fault because he brought the Wall into professional wrestling, and he brought him into WCW. Well, it doesn't take too long because the Wall comes out, he gets into the ring, he doesn't say anything, but he takes a shot at Bam Bam, he clotheslines him over the top, he then attacks David and Crowbar, grabs a table. Daphne? Say it with me now. Do be screaming. Chokeslam to Bam Bam off of the apron through a table. Because fuck you, and fuck you for bringing me into this bullshit. Wall gets back in. David tries to attack him with a crowbar, but the Wall stops him. He rips the neck brace off and then delivers a clubbing blow right to the neck. Crowbar tries to attack with a steel chair, but he's too weak. Big boot from the Wall takes down Crowbar. He rips the neck brace off Crowbar, and then he delivers a mean-looking choke slam. David's on the apron. The Wall goozles him, and then he just shoves him back, and then David falls into Bam Bam, who's on the floor. All right to center looking at. What a fucked fucker. This is my guy right here. The Wall kicks ass. We head to a commercial break from there. Coming back now, we're shown Jeff Jarrett versus Vampiro again. Watch the main event, please. David is being loaded onto a stretcher. He's having a rough week, okay? This has not been a good week for David. Now over to Hulk Hogan with a broadcast. Hulk Hogan with 3 weight belts, by the way. What you gonna do whenever Hulk Hogan beats you like a government mule? Maestro and Symphony are out next, and we're showing a highlight of Maestro's match from Monday Nitro. Boombox to the forehead, no JVC kaboombox. Disappointing, I know. Maestro gets on the mic and says the cat wasn't dancing on Nitro, and he won't be dancing tonight, thanks to the Stro. The Stro? Aight, bro. The Maestro, the cat, the Wall. What interesting names. The cat comes out, hits the ring, and he takes it right to the Maestro. Big slam from the Cat, and then Cat goes for a dancing elbow, but he takes just a little bit too long, and Maestro's able to get out of the way. Cat, back up to his feet now, delivers a flapjack. It takes down the Maestro. He then notices Symphony and the boombox. He tries to grab it, and then Maestro tosses Nick Patrick, the referee, out of the way. Meanwhile, the Cat delivers a low blow, hits the Maestro with the boombox, get rid of the evidence as best as he can because Nick Patrick is starting to stir, and then he goes into the cover and he gets the 3 count. Cat then tosses Maestro out and then dances to this Cosby special sounding ass music, and my God, it is just not good at all. Whoever said to use this song as the dub for the Cat, you're foul. You really are. I'm the real Cat, Vampiro. Actual words of Vampiro, because he's in the back just jumping off of stuff, knocking stuff over. I'm a cat. Meow. That's Vampiro. Coming back from commercial break now, Vampiro is yelling in the boiler room to himself. Like, what the fuck's going on? Like, why aren't you just here, weirdo? Of all the places, you choose the boiler room and you're just hanging out, just yelling at yourself. Like, what are you doing, weirdo? Next up, we see Mean Gene interviewing Lash LaRue, and that accent thick, boy. But he says he'll do anything for the fans, but Dustin Taker takes offense to this and then just beats the shit out of him. This attack spills out to the arena. It goes to the ring. They get inside. Ref gets in. Charles Robinson gets in, signals for the bell. This is just a match now. Commentary says this wasn't on the card, and I absolutely believe them. Like, I do not have a second hesitation's thought to believe that this match was not on the card. They just said, hey, have a brawl, go out to the ring, and they just sent a referee out and was just like, yeah, this match is just going to happen. It's just going to happen, and we're just doing this. I absolutely believe that. Double cross body center ring between the two wrestlers. Lash covers, kick out though. Back body drop from Lash LaRue. Couple of corner shots from Lash. Low blow though from Dustin in front of Charles Robinson because we live in a lawless land. Dustin picks up Lash for a belly to back suplex. He has him up and then he just tosses him forward. Bulldog coming out of the corner from Dustin actually gets the 3 count, and then Dustin is immediately on the attack. He continues to whoop Lash's ass, and then Funk comes out. Terry Funk just comes out, and he's like, that's enough of that. Not on my watch, you chicken ass chicken bitch. Funk comes out whole raw chicken in hand, just whole ass chicken. Slaps the fuck out of Dustin 3 times, puts his hand up this chicken's ass, a whole left. This absolutely is not sanitary. Low blow from Dustin, though. Dustin drops an elbow on this dead chicken. Yes, you heard that right. Dustin Rhodes dropped an elbow on a chicken. What a show. He slaps Funk with it 3 times. Funk falls outside of the ring. They brawl into the crowd, and they brawl into the backstage area. Next shot, though, never mind all that, because next shot is Team Package making their way out to the ring, and you can literally hear shit falling over in the background from the brawl still in progress. This is fire. I fucking love this. Then we're shown a graphic for the main event, and I'll just let you take a guess as to what that match is, you know, as if you didn't have enough hints throughout the night. I'll let you figure out what the main event for this one is. But after that, we head to a commercial break. Coming back from that now, Team Package make their way out to the ring. We get a whole video package of just broken arms and whooping Hulk Hogan's ass. Ric Flair, once they're in the ring, gets on the mic. And he calls out a fat boy, of course, because, you know, that's just Ric Flair. That's just what Ric Flair does. It's not a true Ric Flair promo if he is not calling out at least one fat boy in the audience. He says Total Package will destroy Sting. He says that he will destroy Hogan at the pay-per-view. And right now he wants for Arn Anderson to come out and apologize for making him look bad and say that he's on Team Package and shake the hand of the Total Package. Well, Arn actually comes out, surprisingly. But to no surprise, Arn says, I'm not going to fucking do any of that. You've lost your damn mind. Arn says this is really about him and Flair, and it has nothing to do with Total Package and Elizabeth. Rick says, you're going to do what I ask you to do because you're my friend. You're my best friend. And Arn says, you're going to listen to me. And you know what? I've stood on the side of you for so long. Maybe I've forgotten what it's like to stand up to you. But he says that's what he's going to do right now. And he says that Flair is going to listen to him because he has a 21-year-old kid. And, you know, he has a lot. Flair has a lot. He's got the money. He's got the jewelry. He's got the clothes. He's got the nice house. But if we're being honest, we're bad fathers. That's actual words of Arn Anderson referring to himself and Ric Flair. He says, we're bad fathers. We're bad parents. And quite frankly, we're bad husbands. He says Total Package is an egomaniac and he only cares about himself, but he's one of the finest wrestlers alive. And everyone knows it. And that's where you lose me. You had me going in the beginning. You had us going, not gonna lie. And then we took a dive. We took a nose dive. We took a left turn. And that was the wrong turn to take. Back to the promo, though. I noticed this as I pause before I get back to the promo. Because I paused here because I was taking my notes. I noticed the description at the top of Peacock, wherever it says Jeff Jarrett, you know, it gives like a little description, whatever the episode's like. It spelled defend wrong. It said Jeff Jarrett defends his U.S. belt like DEFNDS. And I just wanted to point that out because it was kind of funny. And I noticed it. So just, yeah, it bears absolutely nothing on this, but it was just funny to me personally. And I made a note of it. Anyway, back to the promo. Arn Anderson says, why is it Team Package and not Team Flair? You're, by God, Ric Flair. You don't play second fiddle to anyone. Package only cares about Package. And Ric Flair should be giving a hand to his son. Give him a hand up, not a hand out. Be a man. Be a father. And I say, damn, that's cold. Ric Flair comes back and he says, I've been daddy. I want to ride on jets and be with the Package now. He wants to live the lavish lifestyle. He doesn't want to play daddy. He doesn't want to do that anymore. He said he's been done being a father. He wants to ride that lavish lifestyle, and he wants to do it with the Total Package and Miss Elizabeth. He says Arn Anderson is AA, the enforcer. Don't be daddy. Come be the enforcer. Be with Team Package. Be the man that we know you are. Ric Flair is starting to get heated. You can tell. He's starting to sweat bullets. He's starting to turn red. Flair's getting heated. Arn says that he's got about 1 or 2 good fights left in him, and he's saving those. But back in the day, he would have walked all over the total package. Well, Package has heard enough at this point, and he gets on the mic and he says, well, he'll be at Nitro, and all he's hearing is a bunch of hogwash coming from Arn Anderson. He turns to Flair and he says, I'm going to give you one more chance. I'm going to give you one. And he takes off his shirt for whatever fucking reason. Just for shits and giggles. Just takes off his shirt because reasons. He says he'll be at Nitro and he says he'll give Arn one more shot. And he also threatens Ric Flair that he'll get the boot too. He says you can either attach yourself to this Ferrari, referring to himself, or to the broken down old pickup, referring to Arn Anderson. Sure, man, whatever you say. Good God, why do you take your shirt off? Why? You want to flex? Squeak, squeak? Okay, sir. Lex leaves. Elizabeth leaves. Arn starts to leave. Ric Flair is still standing in the ring, and he's on the mic back and forth saying that he wants to join Team Package. He wants Arn Anderson to make it right for him. He's the one that needs to make it right. Come to Nitro, make it right. He wants to be on Team Package, and he can only do that by Arn Anderson joining. That's the only way. That's the way it's got to be. Never mind all of that, because as Fit Finlay is making his way out to the ring, Vampiro says, bitch, I'm going to get my pound of flesh. And then he attacks Finlay. Vampiro attacks him, sending Finlay through a table. A brawl breaks out. And then they say on commentary that Fit Finlay versus Ming is coming up next. So Vampiro, not even involved in the match, he just wants to whoop his ass. It's just anarchy. It's bedlam. It's chaos on Thunder, and I am so here for it. This is what I'm talking about. We go to commercial break from that, but coming back from commercial break, main event graphics, bitch. Main event. Watch it. Watch the main event. We're then shown the total package and Elizabeth leaving, and Liz asks if that's where Package wanted to go with that, and he says no, but we'll find out on Monday. Next up, Ming is making his way out to the ring. Finlay makes his way out to the ring. But fuck all that, because this match is like a minute and a half old before Tank Abbott walks out and just double legs the fuck out of Ming. Takes his ass down and just starts throwing fisticuffs. The ref tries to get in and break it up. A couple of refs and security and everybody try to get in and break it up. And they try to push everybody out of the way. But they can only do so much. Security swarms the ring. The referee signals for the bell, but the timekeeper says, nah, you're good. We're then shown highlights from the tag team match last week with Booker accidentally taking a missile dropkick from Kidman. Booker then is shown backstage with Tori saying that Kidman needs to stay focused tonight because tonight is for the tag team titles. Kidman thinks that Booker is trying to get Tori to play sides and that she's coming down with them to ringside, but we'll see how things go. Coming back from commercial break now, Mean Gene interviews the Italian mob, or the Mamelukes, the Paisans. Identify yourself. Gene is here to interview the Italian mob. Johnny says that he just wants to break some thumbs. Vito is ready for a fight. He says that they'll fight 600 guys if they have to. They're ready for this Four Corners elimination match. And this is, well, an interesting match for the tag team titles, if I'm being honest. Interesting rules, if I do say so myself. 4 men will be legal, I believe. I believe so. The Italian mob make their way out to the ring, though. We're shown a Preparation H-Bomb Nitro highlights package. The Harris boys then make their way out to the ring. The boys couldn't wait to get the action started, and so they just start brawling. The referee just says, fuck it. Again, we just live in a lawless land, and signals for the bell. Match is underway, even though Harlem Heat has not made their way out to the ring. Kidman and Booker have not made their way out to the ring either, so they don't matter. The referee just says, all right, let's get it going. 4 corners match, but we only got 2 teams. Fuck it. We're live. Eventually, Harlem Heat make their way out to the ring. Booker also makes his way out to the ring. Kidman takes his sweet ass time coming out, though. Kidman takes out Disco. Cross-body entry from Kidman landing on Big Vito. What a clusterfuck. That's what it says in my notes, and that is on par, man. Biggs is on commentary, at least for a little bit. Booker pins Stevie off of a Russian leg sweep. What a sentence. We take a commercial break, but only for a second. You know, the cock has to pay those bills. Coming back from commercial break now. Disco is now on commentary. It has just been a fiasco. Just so many people have been on commentary tonight. Holy crap. Disco is now on commentary. He's getting his knickers in a bunch whenever Tenay calls the Italian mob the Mamelukes instead of the Paisans. The Harris boys take cheap shots because of course they do. Did you expect them not to? Disco says he's going to interfere, and he was telling the ref to look, but it was off camera. We then come back to commentary, and he's trying to tell the ref to do his job, and he says that the referees in WCW are atrocious. And you know what? He's right. The referees in WCW fucking suck. Spin kick from Johnny on Harris boy number 2. Scooping a slam and a big elbow from the top from Vito gets 2. Preparation H-bomb on Johnny. Referee gets distracted. Disco slides in while the referee is just occupied doing something else. Disco nails one of the Harris boys in the back of the head with the tag team belt. Johnny gets his arm over Harris boy number 1, and it's enough for the 3 count, and the Italian mob retain the tag team titles. Disco eats a Preparation H-bomb. Harris boys apparently are going to get a rematch at Uncensored, so cool for them, I guess. I guess it didn't really matter if they lost this match or not, since they were just going to get another one at Uncensored, so yeah, cool, you get another shot. Mean Gene is backstage, and he says the Harlem Heat's performance tonight was disappointing, and this really makes Stevie hot. Like, he was not happy with this comment at all. He says it was a 2 count. He says he wants Kidman, he wants Booker, and he wants that squack and yak? Question mark? Coming back from commercial break now, Mean Gene is here once again, and he's interviewing Brian Knobbs this time, and he has to run the gauntlet against 3 count at Uncensored for the Hardcore Championship, as I mentioned earlier tonight. The dog is here, like I said. Get rabies for this motherfucker. Jeff Jarrett with women. Jeff Jarrett and the NWO girls. What are their names? Natasha or Natisha or some shit like that. Tasha and Kim, something to that effect. Jeff Jarrett with hoes. That is the point I am getting to. They are here. Vampiro is having a temper tantrum again, because he's a cat. Meow. Coming back from commercial break, Jeff Jarrett is out first. The women actually made it out to the ring again tonight. Surprise, surprise. Only to be told to go back to the locker room. Because Jeff Jarrett loves to upset everybody. Like, everybody. So Jeff gets on the mic and he says he asks if the women want to flash Vampiro, and the crowd and Bobby cheer, because of course they want to see some titties. And Jeff says, not on my watch. He says, not a damn chance. Get to the dressing room. Get your asses out of here, jabronis. You thought you were going to see some titties tonight. Only person that's going to see some titties tonight is me. So Vampiro comes out and he takes it right to Jeff early on in the matchup. Bounces him off the commentary table. The Harris boys come out though, and the attack behind the referee's back, which is not a surprise at all because no match is complete without interference in WCW. Not a single one. No match is ever truly complete in WCW without interference. And that is the truth. Especially with WCW in 2000. I lost my place in my notes. Running clothesline turns Vampiro inside out. It was pretty sweet to see. Love the way Vamp sold that. Roll up for 2 from Vampiro. We get more interference from the Harris boys because that's the way we like our matches in WCW. The Paisans make their way out to the ring. They attack the Harris boys and they fend them off, evening the odds. Johnny and Harris boy number 2 crawl into the ring, then quickly out, and it's a distraction for just a second, but it's a distraction long enough to get the referee to leave the ring and go up the ramp. Uranagi from Vampiro drops Jeff Jarrett, and meanwhile he gets into a pinfall attempt, but the referee is distracted at the top of the ramp. Ref comes back, misses the pinfall. Jeff grabs a chair, and he acts like he's going to use it, but the referee grabs it. DDT for 2 from Jeff. Figure 4 inside cradle for 2. The referee takes an interesting bump. Let's call it that. Jeff gives Vampiro a shot, and Vampiro collides with Nick, and Nick goes sailing over the top rope. It was an interesting shot. Let's call it that. Jeff goes onto the outside. He grabs the championship belt. Vamp takes him down with a catapult. Yeah, okay. Vamp takes him down with a catapult and then grabs the United States Championship, delivers it square to the face to Jeff Jarrett. Then a new referee makes his way out to the ring and is about to count the three count fall. He's about to count to 3, and then Nick pulls the referee out. Meanwhile, back into the ring, stroke by Jeff Jarrett onto the U.S. Heavyweight Championship. Nick counts the 3, and Jeff retains the U.S. Heavyweight Championship. The Harris boys then make their way back out to the ring. Preparation H-bomb for Vampiro, and then they spray paint NWO on his stomach to close out the show. Wow. What a 2 episodes. Nitro was really interesting. Thunder was just as interesting. And the storylines going on, albeit it's chaos, man. It is absolutely flipping chaos. I don't know what's going on half the time. I'm just here for the thrills and the chills. These shows have been crazy, man. Just balls to the wall. We got dudes acting like they're dogs. We got constant interference. We got dudes getting choke slammed through the announce tables. Dudes getting choke slammed through 2 tables. Nitro girls that are not on sync. We got constant interference in the cruiserweight division. The cruiserweight division is just madness. What is going on? WCW was crazy, man. WCW was moment to moment action. You never knew what was going to go on. The storylines could go anywhere. Not going to lie, I was watching Nitro not too long ago, and I was watching it on a Monday. Just coincidentally enough, I didn't actually do this on purpose. But I was watching Monday Nitro, and then I was like, oh, it's Monday. Let me flip over and watch Monday Night Raw. I watched Raw for a little bit, and then I flipped back because I had to take some notes for this. And I was like, man, this would have been so cool to do when the actual Monday Night Wars was happening. Like, man, this would have been so cool. Just watch a little bit of Raw, watch a little bit of Nitro, a little bit of Raw, Nitro, and just flip back and forth. And it was cool. It was I didn't really realize it was happening at the time until a little bit later, but I was like, man, that was pretty neat. And that would have been cool to watch and to do in like 98, 99, 2000, and just watch both WWF and WCW at the same time. That would have been fantastic. And you know what? It's okay because I get to do that now. And I've been watching WWE a little bit more than what I have before in the past. And it's just because WWE is cooking, man. They're on some good stuff right now. They're putting out some good product. And I have been thinking about covering it here on the podcast before, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I'm still toying with the idea. Still trying to figure out how exactly I would do that and how exactly I would incorporate it. Because my schedule is getting a little bit busier because, as I said before, I am going to be working as a cameraman for DCW going forward, as far as I know. Between that and hopefully getting into training sooner rather than later, and my new job that I'm doing is a little bit going on. So hopefully I'll be able to get to that. I would really like to, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm definitely not going to write it off just yet. It's gonna happen down the line, but we'll see when I will be able to get to it. But that is going to do it for this episode of the Wrestle Ramble. We had to double up for this one since I didn't do an episode in November. We are going to have a couple of episodes going forward. I wanted to try and mix it up. Here and there, I do want to talk a little bit about a few local shows that I have been going to and a few local shows that I have been working. And so I'm going to figure out when exactly I'm going to talk about those, and want to kind of slowly incorporate those and kind of maybe broaden my horizon about the topics that I cover, because WCW has been really fun covering, and it has been really fun covering both Nitro and Thunder. But as I'm getting into these shows and working more of these shows, I actually am going to want to talk a little bit more about it. And so this being the platform that I have, I would love to sit and just talk about my experiences and what exactly I've been doing behind the scenes, and just maybe kind of document my journey about being a cameraman, being a professional wrestler. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'll let you guys know what exactly I'm going to have going forward. But that is going to do it for this episode of the Wrestle Ramble podcast. If you have made it to the end, I greatly appreciate you for stopping by. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up, leave a like, subscribe, join us. As I said at the top of the episode, all of the holiday wishes to you. Happy Halloween, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Hell, happy Hanukkah. Throw all the holidays in there. If I don't hear from you guys, or if I don't post anything
after this episode. Then I will see you all in the next year. I'm going to have a couple of things that I post. I actually am almost done working on a video that I've been working on for a little bit. I just want to go through and check all the bells and whistles with that and make sure everything is good to go before I get that sent out to you guys. I definitely want to talk a little bit more about independent professional wrestling that I've been going to. I wanted to double up, like I said, since I didn't have anything posted last month. And so this is going to be just a little bit of a special treat for you guys, a little bit of a holiday special, a little bit of a longer episode talking about the two episodes of Nitro and Thunder. And who knows, I might do this every so often just as like a special one-off episode here and there. But for the most part, the episodes are going to stay as the separate episodes, and I can't wait to talk about the next episode of Nitro. That is going to be a fantastic one. It's already looking like a pretty interesting one. Between that, Thunder, and the shows that I have been attending and the ideas that I have for the podcast coming up, I have a lot of good things prepared for you guys, and man, rolling it all out is just going to be such a fun time, and I can't wait to do it. But that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for joining, and I will see you all on the next episode when the Wrestle Ramble returns.